Look, we're going to get you straight to the markets. They've been so strong today. And with Ingrid Willinge, who's with me now. Ingrid, it's strong, but is there any real trend about which of the stocks did best?
Well, yeah, Ross, we did see tech stocks, certainly the standout today, but energy and miners also jumping with a relief rally in most cyclical stocks. Almost a textbook risk-on market, and that's thanks to, of course, that deal or pause in the trade war between China and the US, which you mentioned, which boosted global markets and upped investor risk appetite. You do see the ASX closing up about 0.5%, just off the highs of the day. But let's look at a bit more detail at the best performers on the session. Appen, of course, has to get a top mention. The stock on a tear today, closing up, you can see there, almost 20%. Webjet also rallying today, up around 4%, as BGH Capital and corporate raider Gary Weiss joined together to accumulate an almost 11% share in Webjet. And Breville, also seen as a beneficiary of a pause in those trade tariffs, up close to 8%. You can see there at the end of the session due to its exposure to the US and also the greenback. Now, a record high as well for dual-listed Life 360 after it reported its quarterly numbers today, beating expectations both on revenue and earnings, sending the stock soaring. And I had a chat with Chief Executive Chris Hulls a little earlier, who says they should hit break even this year and growth is continuing on a strong path.
Look at where we're most penetrated, even in the US. We have some states like Texas where it's over 20% of all phones, and growth has not slowed down. International is also growing pretty much everywhere. And that's been very exciting to see, because we long believed that we were not just limited to US and English-speaking countries, that if we did invest in regions like Europe, we would see similar results, and we're seeing that. So it really does show that our TAM is much bigger than many thought, and we have many years of growth behind us. And this is all happening largely organically.
Well, that's the best performers for you. But as for the worst performers, you certainly don't want to be in a defensive play today as investors take on that more risk-on strategy. Coles and Woolies both weakening by about 3.5% in the session today. Gold also on the back foot after having a good run-up. St Barbara, you can see closing down about 3.3%. And the property plays, another defensive play, also weaker. Mirvac off by about 2.5%. So a very clear trend today, Ross.
Yeah, it was a massive day coming out of the United States, especially overnight. Many thanks, Ingrid.